The early to mid-90s were a wild time for movie thrillers, especially ones featuring unhinged women wreaking havoc. From The Hand That Rocks the Cradle in 1992, where Rebecca De Mornay's vengeful nanny terrorized family, to Single White Female that same year, with Jennifer Jason Leigh's obsessive roommate turning deadly. These films tapped into fears about women crossing lines. However, in 1994, Disclosure hit theaters, daring to explore a provocative angle, a woman abusing power over a man in the workplace. Its story feels like an eerie foreshadowing of today's nuanced conversations about gender, power, and accountability, making it a film that was both of its time and ahead of it. In this video, I'm going to examine this bold Michael Douglas and Demi Moore thriller, unpacking its take on gender dynamics, its sci-fi virtual reality elements, and why, in my opinion, it's rarely discussed now. Hey everybody, welcome back. Disclosure, directed by Barry Levinson and based on Michael Crichton's novel, was released in December 1994. It's a corporate thriller centered on Tom Sanders, played by Michael Douglas, a tech exec at Digicom expecting a promotion. Instead, his old flame Meredith Johnson, played by Demi Moore, gets the job. After she aggressively tries to seduce him, he rejects her. She threatens him and later accuses him of sexual harassment. Tom, realizing his job and his marriage are at stake, countersues, accusing Meredith of sexual harassment. The film dives into power struggles of corporate greed and betrayal, all wrapped in a sleek 90s package. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Why am I covering this movie on a channel dedicated mostly to science fiction? Well, technically speaking, it is science fiction. More on that later. The gender politics of the 1990s feels worlds apart from today, yet Disclosure was eerily prescient. In the 90s, sexual harassment discussions, like the Anita Hill-Clarence Thomas hearings, focused on men as predators. I remember when this movie came out, and the idea of a woman harassing a man was almost absurd, and Disclosure leaned into that shock. It suggested women could wield power abusively too, a notion that clashed with early feminist narratives, but aligns with today's broader understanding. Post-Me Too, we've seen cases like those involving actress Asia Argento, or female abusers in schools, showing power dynamics aren't gender exclusive. Disclosure sparked a debate that's more relevant now than ever. Back in 1994, a woman sexually harassing a man felt almost absurd to some. The scene where Meredith corners Tom, locking the door, hiking her skirt, was staged for maximum shock, and audiences, as Roger Ebert noted, often laughed uneasily. Men as victims didn't compute when society assumed they were always game. Today, cases like Amber Heard's alleged abuse of Johnny Depp have shifted perceptions. Disclosure's premise isn't laughable anymore. It's a serious, if contentious part of the conversation about abuse and accountability. Disclosure is the final part of what I call Michael Douglas's unofficial trilogy of films where he's hunted by unhinged women. After Fatal Attraction's Glenn Close boiled bunnies in 1987, and Basic Instinct's Sharon Stone toyed with him in 1992, Douglas was the go-to guy to play the embattled everyman. In Disclosure, Meredith isn't a scorned lover, but a corporate predator, making her threat more cerebral.
Going down. Aw, don't tell me you're scared of me.
These films fed on 90s fears about women's rising power. Douglas's knack for playing flawed, frantic men keeps Disclosure gripping, even if it's actually the tamest of the trilogy. Disclosure disappointed some viewers, possibly due to the film's marketing, advertising it as a steamy erotic thriller, along the same lines as Fatal Attraction and Basic Instinct. It promised sizzling tension, but the film's one provocative scene, Meredith's attempted seduction, fades fast, and the harassment plot is a springboard for a techno-thriller about corporate espionage. The real focus is Digicom's schemes and Tom's fight to save his career, not bedroom drama. Viewers wanting more spice possibly felt misled, as the film leans more into boardroom battles than eroticism, making it tamer than its predecessors. Demi Moore is a revelation as Meredith Johnson, terrifying, sexy, and utterly ruthless. After more quiet and submissive roles in the likes of Ghost and Indecent Proposal, Moore unleashes a career-best performance here. Meredith is a power-suited predator, using charm and menace to dominate. She uses her sexuality as a weapon. Moore's icy stare and commanding presence make her believable as someone who could destroy Tom's life without blinking. She's magnetic, turning a villain into a standout, and her bold choice of play against type shows her range. Meredith is unforgettable. For me though, the standout character is actually Catherine Alvarez, Tom's lawyer played by Roma Mafia. She's a sharp, no-nonsense advocate who steals every scene with her wit and moral clarity. Catherine guides Tom through the legal minefield, exposing Meredith's lies and Digicom's corruption. In a pivotal moment, she sums up the film's core theme.
Sexual harassment is not about sex. It is about power. She has it, you don't.
Her dialogue cuts through the sensationalism, framing the story as a battle over control, not just gender. Mafia's commanding performance makes Catherine a voice of reason and a true highlight of the film. Meredith Johnson feels like a fictional forerunner to figures like Amber Heard. Both are charismatic, powerful women accused of manipulating narratives to harm men. Meredith's false accusation against Tom echoes how some viewed Heard's claims against Depp, strategic moves for leverage. While Disclosure is drama, not reality, the parallels are striking. Meredith's knack for weaponizing her sexuality taps into fears about power misused, a theme that hits hard in today's headline-driven scandals. It's interesting though how Disclosure is rarely discussed today, because, again, in my opinion, it clashes with post-Harvey Weinstein rhetoric. After 2017's revelations exposed Hollywood's systemic abuse, the "believe all women" mantra took hold. A story about a woman lying about sexual harassment feels like dynamite in that context, risking accusations of undermining survivors. Despite earning over $200 million worldwide and a 59% Rotten Tomatoes score, Disclosure is a quiet relic. It's not been erased, but its provocative premise doesn't fit neatly into modern discourse, in my opinion. The film's science fiction elements are a cool surprise, especially its virtual reality tech. Tom uses the Corridor, a VR database with floating files and avatars, to uncover corporate secrets. In 1994, this was extremely futuristic, predating devices like the Oculus Rift or Apple Vision Pro. Michael Crichton, ever the tech prophet, uses VR to explore data manipulation and espionage. The CGI is clunky now, but the concept of VR as a workplace tool was visionary, giving Disclosure a unique blend of thriller and prophetic science fiction. Even though Michael Douglas's Tom Sanders is sympathetic, he isn't perfect, which makes his growth compelling. He's a typical 90s yuppie, smug, with a past affair with Meredith and a flirty misstep early on. The subplot with Tom and his wife Susan, played by Caroline Goodall, adds emotional depth. Early on, their marriage is strained. Tom's a workaholic, and his past affair with Meredith lingers as a sore spot. Susan starts skeptical, unsure if Tom is telling the truth about Meredith's advances, reflecting real-world doubts about male victims. As the truth unfolds, Susan becomes his rock, supporting him through their legal fight. Their arc from tension to trust grounds the thriller in human stakes, showing Tom's growth as a husband. It's a quiet but vital plot thread. When Meredith's accusations threaten his job and family, he fights back, uncovering Digicom's schemes. Without giving away too much, by the end he's humbler, more devoted to his wife and kids, and wiser about power. Douglas nails Tom's shift from entitled exec to resilient underdog, making you cheer for him despite his flaws. So overall, Disclosure is a daring, flawed, and fascinating 90s thriller. Its gender politics and sci-fi VR were ahead of their time, while Demi Moore's terrific performance and Roman Mafia's standout role anchor it. Michael Douglas's character arc adds heart, and the film's power-focused themes still resonate. It's not flawless, some twists stretch belief, and the corporate lingo can drag, but it's a gripping drama that has as much relevance today, if not more so, and at the time of its release. Disclosure is well worth checking out for fans of 90s dramas, or anyone curious about gender and power debates. And that's my take on Disclosure. What do you think? Have you seen it? Does it hold up? Or is it too controversial now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Share this video out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.